Hey everyone, Itaroda here, bringing you some gaming news. Now, Borderlands 2 will be in the background because Borderlands is relevant, and that'll be at the later half of the video. Please make sure you have your annotations on so you can see what time it is. Now, for the big news, I suppose you would want to call it, Xbox 360 consoles have been discontinued. That is the end of the 360 consoles as a whole. There will be no more new ones, there will only be the ones that are on the market. Now, for everyone that might be, up in arms and panicking, thinking that the 360 services are going down, they're not. It's just the console. They're not going to shut down the 360 console services until God only knows when. Maybe 5 years from now, pretty much. Now, I know everybody's, reluctant or hating the fact that they have to upgrade, but you have to realize that they're not going to stick around on a previous gen console when they have so much more at their disposal with the Xbox One. Everybody's probably just gonna think of, or remember, hey, here's a bad launch, there's all these glitches and everything else, but as a whole, the consoles actually come together pretty well. Now, I'm not saying it's without its glitches, because, no system and no console or anything technology-based is perfect. It's always going to have its little problems here and there. But the main thing that, they're working on, and they're doing extremely well, I might add, is the backwards compatibility. Now, I tried the backwards compatibility quite a few times on Borderlands 1, what else was there? Soul Calibur HD, HD Online. I tried backwards compatibility with quite a few other games, and to be perfectly honest with you, it flows pretty nicely. And the best part is even if you don't have unlocked achievements or you're missing achievements, they still unlock even when you're doing backwards compatibility. So, as a whole, you're not really losing that much. You're actually gaining. Excuse me, sorry, my throat's a little bit dry. You're actually gaining a great deal because not only are you getting the 360 emulator as a whole, but anything that was actually not anything that was recorded at 60 FPS or anything of that nature will be fully unlocked due to the Xbox One's new processor, or new hardware. Because a little unknown fact is, a Xbox 360 processor was 512 megabytes. I want you to realize that phones 5 years ago had more processing power than the 360. Let that sink in for a second. So, now, I understand that people, funds are tight and everything else, but you don't have to run right out and get it because apocalypse is happening now. It really isn't. Take your time, do your research, get your coupons, get your sales and everything else, and you'll be able to get an Xbox One, 500 gigabytes for around 150. You can probably get it used for around that, or you can get it new if you go on to, let's say, Amazon. You have cards or coupons for X amount off of said purchase. It just takes a little bit of tinkering and a little bit of time to find the one that you want. So, if I were you, I would actually start saving up and putting money towards the Xbox One. That's all there is to it, really, because you want to make sure you're ahead of the curve and you're not struggling to keep up with the curve. Now, on to a happier announcement, as it were. Borderlands 3 was officially announced at PAX East. I think it was PAX East. It wasn't PAX Pox, I know that. I know it wasn't that. And I should not make light of that, but I did anyway, because I don't know. I just did. But Borderlands 3 was officially confirmed by Randy Pitchford. Now, before, I was always skeptical of, we're probably just going to get another miniature DLC in the form of a Headhunter pack, which I was perfectly okay with. I actually liked the Headhunter DLCs. They were pretty fun. They had their own little shining moments and everything else, but, it was still pretty good. But for Borderlands 3, what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping that it's going back to how Borderlands was. I didn't really enjoy the pre-sequel, but I didn't, it was kind of fun, but then the moon gimmick and everything else, like the low gravity and stuff, the oxygen tanks, that all kind of wore off rather quickly because, for me, pre-sequel was just like this hot mess, pretty much. Now, I know there's a lot of people that enjoyed it. And I'm not saying that it was a bad game. It was just one of those games where it's like they implemented the wrong mechanics. Like, yeah, it was cool that you had low gravity and everything else, but the problem was for me was the travel times were so mind numbing. It was like, please hurry, please hurry. And the thing about it was like it just got to a point to where it was more tedious than fun. Grinding for legendaries and so on and so forth. What I'm hoping for is they kind of go from the Borderlands 2 storyline. Or even if they actually build off of, Nisha and all them, that's fine too. To be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't mind that, but I just want it done right. I hope they kind of go back a step to a point to where back to where it was like Borderlands 1 or Borderlands 2, but shields didn't have a placebo effect and you didn't have to health gate everything. Now, for those of you who don't know what health gating is, you can survive fatal damage if your health is blinking, but that's only for a few seconds. You get like a few seconds of invulnerability, but if it's a DOT, you're kind of screwed anyway. So I just kind of hope that they make shields what they used to be. The characters themselves, like I wouldn't mind if it was, I wouldn't mind if it was Borderlands 1, 2, or even the pre-sequel characters. I wouldn't mind that. Or if we get 4 new Vault Hunters and somehow we get Borderlands 2 as DLC, I wouldn't mind that. Actually, I kind of would because I don't like paying DLC for characters, but we're in the modern age here, people. We're gonna have to, one way or another. Quick, get the Iridium. We'll sell that and we'll get the DLC for free. Crazy Earl, where are you? Well, everybody, let me know what you want in Borderlands 3. Let me know what you think about the Xbox 360 being discontinued. Are you okay with it? Are you up in arms about it? Or do you not really care because you know that you're actually going to move forward? So let me know what you feel. Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. This is Itaroda signing off. I'm going to leave you with the last couple of minutes of story here from my personal favorite Borderlands 2 DLC here. So that way you can see drops and so on and so forth. Well, everybody, this is Itaroda signing off. I hope you all enjoy this, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, everyone, and be safe. Later!
Great job. You defeated the sorcerer and brought light back to the world. Sounds like you deserve a rest. Don't worry about the queen. I'll lead her back to town myself.
No. Are we done? We can't be done.
Hell nah! You got tons of side quests to do, boo, and I got all the time in the world.
I'll never forget the adventures we had.